Are you struggling? What makes it a struggle? What are some of the things that go on at home? Day to day. Wake up every morning with it, go to bed every night with it, and spend the day with it in between. What's it like? This would be a good time to wake up. I want to have more interaction from you. All right? I want you to think. I want you to go within yourself and really realize what's going on with me. And share it. It does you a lot of good to share it. Right? You're doing it. I'm not doing it. So you are in a great position to help each other and counsel each other and give each other real good coping skills and good advice. Am I right? Okay, so?
Just scheduling stuff to do.
Scheduling stuff to do?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
Just to keep active without the boss saying, you can't do that.
Okay, trying to stay active without your honey bun telling you you can't do that. What exactly does that mean and why? Lots of times, yeah, there's a fine line between, because you caregivers, you need to hear me. One of your really primary missions is to motivate your loved one to do and to stay engaged in life and to stay active and to stay out of the recliner. All right. The key is that you encourage them to do things that are safe for them to do and things that they are able to do. And there's the little variable in there. You have nothing to do, so you're going to clean the gutters. No. She's going to say no. I would say no too. All right? So, based on what he said, if you want to do something and you know darn well it's wrong for you to do it, why are you doing it? Why are you wanting to do it? So you set your caregiver up to be an old shrew and say you're not going to do it, I forbid it, you're going to get hurt.
Just to be stubborn.
Well, that won't do, so that will stop. Just to be stubborn. I do.
We need to get him his trains back. Get him
I
something
play
to
with
stop.
them. I got them every day.
He plays with the trains. I gotta get through Thanksgiving. The day after Thanksgiving, holiday comes up. Okay, so you all can sit on the floor all day long and play with your trains. And that's my gift to you, sweetheart. Okay? All right? This is sensible. This is a time to work together peacefully and respectfully. This is not a time to say, oh, he's driving me nuts, so if I do this, I'm going to take him over the last hurdle. Got it? This is a time to work together and to be sensible. Because your caregiver wants you active, we want you engaged, we want you happy. We don't want you flopped out, getting apathetic and depressed because, oh, I can't do it anymore, I can't do it anymore, so I'm just going to sit in a chair and suck my emotional thumb. All right? So a big thing with caregiving, and it's very tiring, it takes a lot of energy to motivate your loved one to do something. Because a lot of Parkinson patients are very, very happy being sedimentary. Is that you? Huh? I hope not. Because you only have this day once, and you need to do some fun stuff with it. Right? So you want to be doing things that you are capable of doing, that you love to do. You also have to have the ability, all right, the humility to let go of the things that you can't do anymore. And this is so hard for you. I understand it. It's yet another loss. Parkinson's disease is nothing but a series of losses. Right? What have you lost?
Freedom.
You've lost your freedom. My goodness. Would you like to talk on that a minute?
Well, I have a lot of freedom because the turning point was finding this place. You have a terrific program for us. I know that everything is picked out with great intelligence. All your classes are wonderful. The teachers are really good. And it's A1, I think, for motivating me, keeping me feeling good all day I'm here. And
so you feel free?
I do. I feel free, and I'm enjoying the company.
Yeah. So she you know, she's been married to Bob a very long time. They spend a lot of time together. But she's able to come and be safe here, right?
Yes.
And feel some sense of independence.
It's
and some freedom. So that's a good thing.
Yes.
That's a good thing. So what was my original question? Who can help me up here? What have you lost? So you've lost the ability to do some things, but you've gained freedom because you're able to come here and stay engaged, right?
Yes.
So what are some of the other things that you've lost along the way with this disease? And you have to graciously say, okay, I'm giving it up because I can't do it anymore. And please try to remember that we are all sensational seniors, so don't blame everything on the Parkinson's disease. It's not all Parkinson's fault. It's the fault of the aging process. Yes.
I've always been a people person. And Parkinson has had nothing to do to change that. I look around and I enjoy people. I've always enjoyed people. I like going where people will talk and get together. But if I see somebody that can't do something and I know I can do it, I'll go in and take care of it.
Well, that's great. That's a wonderful way to be, right? Topic for today is reach out to those who love you. All right.
That's right.
So it is our responsibility, no matter where we go during the course of our day, to really help others and to promote each other and to help each other to be your best. I know that you take very seriously. He gets worried when some people aren't doing so great that day or whatever. He's like my little roving case manager of Parkinson Place, and he'll report to me, but it really does bother him, when somebody has difficulty or struggles to do something. So you have a kind heart. So it's very important, that you do reach out to each other and that you help each other. That's what this place is all about. All right? So what have you lost? Somebody tell me what you've lost. I'm sitting here asking you what you lost and you're telling me what you're gaining. Driving? Driving is a big one. It's your sense of independence, your sense of impulsivity. It's so easy, just to say, oh, I need milk, grab the car keys, drop in the car, and in 15 minutes you're gone, you're back, and everything is ta-da. And you lose that. You lose the impulsivity. You're losing the impulsivity with the disease anyway, right?
Yeah.
You can't say, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to have it done in 30 minutes, because there's so much going against you that slows down that motivation, that spoils the impulsivity of doing it. That's what triggers in your apathy. But the ability to drive, and we've all driven since we were 16, something like that. So, driving is a normal thing. It's a huge sense of independence. And it's a huge point in our lifestyle. Am I right?
Yes.
We drive the kids to school, we drive to work, we drive to shop, we drive blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, you're not appropriate to be behind the wheel anymore. Did you like the way I put that? What do I mean by that?
Just not safe.
Okay, what happens to you with Parkinson's disease that would be detrimental to you operating
Your
a
reflexes.
2-ton, how much does a car weigh? Ton? What major equipment, all right, like a car. What happens to you? What does a car weigh?
Put yourself in
Remind me
danger
to
and
do
other
something
people in
with it.
danger.
Okay, so what's happening to you with Parkinson's disease and the aging process?
Reactions are slow.
Your bradykinesia, your reflexes are slow, you are stiff, your depth perception is off, your vision is off, you're older, your hearing might be off, pedal or brake is off, right? Don't do it. Don't risk it. Don't risk yourself. And it's really important because you're all wonderful people. You're all smart people. You're all gracious people. You all need to have ownership in your life to do the right thing, right? To do the right thing. Don't make your wife go to the doctor and say, pull his keys. Because I'm here to tell you the doctor won't do it because they're afraid you're going to fire him. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, and I was with Neurological Associates. I had 20 docs. And when the test came back, shouldn't be driving, they all said, go see Marilyn. She's going to take your keys away. Yeah, it didn't bother me at all. As long as I had another designated driver, as long as they knew about the SCAT, as long as they knew about how to call a cab. Am I right? All right. Okay. So how do you deal with loss? I always say you can give up the past, let it go. It's gone. How do you do that? What's the key to living well with Parkinson's?
Take up something new.
Take up something new. Where do I want your focus? Where do I want your focus this day? On today. You know, I want your focus on today. I want you totally engaged in this day. Because you only got one pass at it. Tomorrow's nothing but a guess. We all know that. Does anybody really know what's coming tomorrow? We really truthfully don't. It's nothing but a guess. You might think you do. You might think you control it. But truth be told, you just don't. All right? So the key is, settle with the past. Let it go. Have your wonderful memories. We all have them. Enjoy them for the moment. But don't live back there. Don't live back there, would have, perhaps, and maybe. Oh, I thought I was going to be different today. You're not, so let it be. So stay engaged in not only the day, but in the minute. You should all be engaged in where you are right now, what you're doing right now, with me, and with the people that you're sharing the day with. How many of you are there? Okay, because that's the fun thing about getting through that. I learned I don't know when I learned it, along my road of life, that no matter what you're doing in that moment, do it 100%. Give it your full attention, your full dedication, your full effort, right? And it will really make it a lot better for you. It'll really matter a lot. So, when you're with your loved one, you're doing this. When you're doing something else, you're doing that, and that is where your focus is. Okay? Okay. What's your greatest challenge? Oh, you don't have any challenges. Good, I can retire. Getting up in the morning. How many of you have trouble getting up in the morning?
I'm soaring.
Well, yeah, you have the clinical side of waking up in the morning, and it's hard because, you've been at rest. Your body has been comfortable, your blood pressure is stable, you haven't had your medicine since the night before, right? So that thing of waking up in the morning physically can be a feat. By the time you get up, your feet hit the ground, you take your first dose of cinnamon, those of you that are dosing with cinnamon, then that kicks in, then all of a sudden you start feeling better, right? I'm talking about how are you emotionally when you wake up in the morning. How do you greet the day?
Good spirits.
Good spirits. Well, you are just knocking my socks off today.
At least you woke up.
Morning is good.
At least you woke up, right? He's really in a good mood, huh? Yeah, you woke up, right? Try to face the day with a good spirit. Try to be enthusiastic. Try to be gracious. How many of you are happy to be alive? Oh, please all raise your hand. Sure, heavens, it's great. All right? But face the day with gratitude. Oh, Jesus is great. I woke up. I'm doing great. I feel terrific. I'm going to do my best. Always set your disposition. You can control your thinking. You control your attitude. All right? You control your motivation. You choose whether you can be positive or negative. It's all up to you. You agree with that? Because you can get up, doom and gloom, sourpuss, sour grapes, boo-hoo, woe is me, and you're not going to do well. Because the theme is to live well, to enjoy this day. Sometimes we don't have the opportunity, to realize that there are so many whose life is tenfold worse, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we need to forget that. I hate to go home and face the evening news. Sometimes I just cannot. It's all I can bear. Sometimes, it's really it's awful what people throughout the world have to endure during the course of the day. Little children to old people. All right. So always focus on how lucky you are. I mean, you have got it all. You have really got it all. You're up, you're dressed, you're here, you've got somebody loving on you. You had a firehouse sub. So focus on what you have, not what you've lost, for heaven's sake. If you don't have it, you don't need it. Simple as that. So focus on the day, focus on the day, set your mood, set your disposition. All right? Set your mindset on what am I going to do today to be my best. How many of you Parkinson patients can say to me, Marilyn, I am really trying. I am really making and I always say live on a conscious level. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Live on a conscious level. You can live and die on a conscious level. Right? You got me? You live on a conscious level. You pay attention to what am I doing and why am I doing it? Am I doing right? Am I doing wrong? Am I making a difference? I don't care who you are, you make a difference. How do you make a difference?
Just by being there.
Just by being there. Because you have a lot of people that love you and need you in your life. All right? You know, I always say, line up all the people in your life that know and love you. Where would they be without you? You'd spoil it for them, right?
Right.
So you have a responsibility to be your best, to do your best, to exercise, to eat right, to keep a good mindset, to live well with this disease. It's your responsibility to those who love you. The theme for the day, now that I've been talking for 45 minutes, is reach out to those who love you. I always get around to it sooner or later, don't I? I just take the long way around the barn. Reach out to those who love you. What does that mean? What does the word love mean? We use it all the time. We overuse it. I love the color of red. I love the new Porsche. I
Love chocolate chip.
love Connie cookies. We overuse that word, don't we? What does it mean? I never really did look it up in Webster's.
Strong feeling of attraction.
Strong feeling of attraction. And what causes it? What makes it happen? I always say you can't make love happen and you can't make it stop. Did you know that? It's a curse. Why do you, some people can automatically love somebody else even if they're not the greatest person. Yeah, you have a way to love somebody. But love is one emotion, the most beautiful emotion out there, that you can't stop it. It's what happens with caregivers. It's what happens with two people that, you know, and you know how fortunate you are. I always think about this. When I look at couples, you know, my Parkinson family, you look like you fit together because I know you so well. But you ever sit in an airport and see husband and wives and that kind of stuff and you hear, what is she doing with him? Right? I do it all the time and I feel like, how did this happen? This is a goof up if I ever saw it. All right? Huh?
Mismatch.
It's like a mismatch from you know where. Yeah, but they're clearly connected. They're clearly bonded. They're clearly soulmates and everything. It's none of my business if you're too tall and you're too short and I'm too blonde and you're too redhead. Doesn't matter. It's that common attraction that, and the word is attraction, right? It's a wonderful thing. But you also have to realize, even with living with so many challenges with Parkinson's diseases, through my eyes, you are so fortunate to have each other. Even if it's a child and a parent, right? He might not be the best. And she might be driving you crazy. I used to say, my girlfriend said they were driving, husband was driving him crazy. And I'd say, even if he looks like Elmer Fudd, there's a woman standing in line behind you waiting to get him. Right? Am I right?
Yeah.
And I could get my girlfriends right on track to lighten up, for heaven's sake. What marriage is made in heaven? I don't know. Right, Thelma? But doesn't the great outweigh the not so great? Truthfully, if you really get to think about it. Okay. It's why I love caregiving so much, you know, when I see the natural attraction of one helping the other. And, you know, you need to consciously just reach out to people that love you. You need to ask for help. You need to extend a hand, not only to ask for help coming this way, but to extend a hand to help somebody else. And that can be very, very easily done. Very, very, it doesn't even have to be a physical task. It can just be a little bit. I watch NAMI all the time. They have this silent language that they think I'm not getting, but there's very little that goes on around here that I don't say, you know. But, you know, even if she takes a class and she hasn't been close to him for like 40 minutes, she'll come right up and go like this. Right? Am I right? She'll just pat you. Am I right?
Yeah.
She will.
Because I didn't.
Didn't iron his shirt this morning, did you? You had it. Okay.
We don't have it.
You don't have an iron? Is that what you're going to tell me?
There's one somewhere in the closet.
There's one somewhere.
Yeah.
I've got one somewhere too, but I prefer not to pull it down, you know. All right, so reach out, ask for help, and give a helping hand. Not only to the person closest to you, but everybody else in your life. I watch you around here. It really does be great. And in case I don't say it often enough, for those of you that help out, you know, with the tables and the chairs and the wait staff, help the staff, because we're running on, we what do we have? There's 4 of us, I guess, now on the PRF side. So, you know, for those of you that extend yourself and help, I want to say thank you. It really does mean a lot. So, you never stick around to do the dishes, though. I did notice that.
Throw them out.
I'm only teasing. I don't want you to do that stuff.
They say you can't come in the church.
I put that sign right there, staff only, but nobody listens. That's why we have Terrell or Sweet Wing, huh?
That's why we don't do it.
It's selective. If you have to get water or something, you can go in. Yeah. All right. So what are you doing for each other? My patients, what are you doing for your caregiver? And what do you need to do for them? Caregiving is a very, very difficult role, isn't it?
Give them encouragement,
Give them encouragement. What else?
tell them you love them.
Tell them you love them.
If you do.
If you do. Okay. You were doing well there for a while.
You're allowed to lie.
Natalie says you're allowed to lie. Okay? Tell them you love them if you do, and you're allowed to lie. It's a motley group in here today. Tell them you love them. Tell them thank you. Do positive affirmations. You know, lots of times with Parkinson's disease, you're not able to do quite as much for your spouse or your partner as you did before. And that's okay. It's okay. It's all right. But express really sincere appreciation and do absolutely as much as you can on your side to do it. Do as much for them as you can. Don't deliberately drive them crazy and harass them. Table number 1 in the blue check shirt. I'm not pointing fingers, but here goes his hand up.
She said something to me the other day when I said, we never argued before. She said, you were never around 24/7.
We never argued before, and you were never around 24/7. Lots of times there are issues when one or the other retires. Am I right?
Oh, yeah.
It's a
More
tr-
since I retired.
And then you retired on top of that. So now you are together forever, and that really can make a difference, can it?
I can make you crazy.
Okay. She's crazy, and Barry's wringing her neck. Right? So you have to find a way to have together time and to have separate time. You have to work that out. You know, I always say, how can you possibly miss him if you're with him 24/7? I don't get it, but if you're in a situation that you have to be together 24/7, you know, for care needs and for safety needs, and that's something totally different. Yeah.
I just tell Chuck, I'm going off shopping, you stay here.
All right, there we are, concise. Concise. You know, because a lot of things, a lot of stress and strain, and then seniors, and then, you know, things that happen as you go along the way, it can spoil, and you don't want that to happen. That's why I encourage you day by day by day by day to work desperately hard on the love and the respect and the appreciation and the regard that you have one for each other. Okay, you know, if you each give 1,000%, you got it made. And you know, just get past the small stuff. Most of the stuff that we fuss about with wonderful people in our lives, it really doesn't matter. I always say to myself when I qualify something, is this going to matter next week? And usually the answer is no. I'm not even going to remember it by the time I go to bed tonight, you know? So, you know, just get past it and focus on the goodness and the respect and really work at that. Because I think that's what a relationship is all about, is my ability to make you feel better and feel special and to raise you up and to promote you. Just like that's what you give to me, and that's, you know, what I want you to give to each other. So always be the biggest, right? My mother said to me, always be the biggest. Look the other way, forgive, forget, move on, and have a good time. Don't ever be too proud or too ornery to say I love you. Just spit it out. I don't care if you're choking on it. I don't care if you think you're right, wrong, or somewhere in between. You know, if you feel it, say it. And don't ever forget to say, I am sorry. Because heaven knows, don't we all make a mistake? And if you say the wrong thing, do not bury it. I'm having trouble with this couple over here. I have to put them behind a curtain somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, if you make a mistake, you do something to offend somebody, to hurt somebody, for whatever. You know, don't be too darn proud to stand stoic and say, I don't owe you an apology. I'm not wrong, blah, 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 blah. Just say, I'm sorry. You're not going to die from it. Your heart's not going to stop. You know, who's right, who's wrong. Who cares? Just get past it, mend things, and keep going. Okay, because we have the day, and God can blink his eye and change your life, right?
That's right.
What you have today, you might not have tomorrow.